Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 26th episode of the Friedrian podcast. I am, of course, your host, Danny, and I'm joined by my lovely, jubbly co hosts, Chris.
Hello. And at
And
least this time I've eaten beforehand.
yes, and made a lot of gas, and Gary.
I love that you just threw him under the bus there.
I had to. That's my job now, to throw you guys under the bus.
Hey, you can't throw the driver under the bus.
Oh, you don't know my powers.
If you're driving, then how can Danny aim?
That's exactly my point.
Burn. But
Yeah.
But I've already forgotten. One of you said there's something I want to say at the start. Was it you, Chris?
Yeah, it was basically that. I've
Oh,
eaten beforehand, so I won't suddenly disappear.
to go
at
get
the end.
steaks.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was delicious.
I'd imagine so. Now, let's just get this out of there. Actually, I forgot to mention before we start recording. I was gonna say my tooth hurts because I went to the dentist today, and because
Is it your tooth or is it your gums?
no, it's my tooth and my gums. Because to save money, I usually don't get anesthetics.
Oh,
Yeah, but I've gotten used to it. The last time I needed anesthetics was when I had to get what's it called? A crown? You know, where they have
Yeah.
to kill the nerves in your tooth. That
And
was
yes, teeth do have nerves.
yeah, they do. It kind of felt like a worm they were pulling on, but then I was
Yeah.
like, "Ooh, I can't handle that. I need anesthetics." So they numbed the shit out of me that time. But normal stuff like I had a hole, or I had a cavity that needed to be filled, and it was pretty deep, but not like nerve deep. So it was fine.
Ooh.
Yeah. But that's got nothing to do with gaming. I actually wanted to tell you guys this beforehand in case my list was even worse than usual. But, So, games we've played this week. Who would like to start?
Well, I think
honestly, I only remember a handful.
Okay.
I
but-
think I've only played the Digimon World and Pokemon Omega Ruby.
Digimon World
Unless,
2003?
That's
Yeah.
the one.
Okay.
and I'm just trying to think if there was anything else briefly. Oh, maybe a bit of Smash
Hmm.
Ultimate.
I don't remember if that was before. No, I thought that was I thought that was only mentioned in last week's episode.
It wasn't mentioned that. I don't think it was
Meaning
mentioned that anybody played it, but you did mention the new character that was released from Tekken.
I thought I
Well-
mentioned that specifically because we'd actually played it a little bit.
I don't think so. I could be wrong, but I don't think so.
If
I'm
I,
sure someone in the comments will hopefully remind us.
Yeah.
if I repeated that, thinking it was within the separate time frame, it just proves I'm getting old.
You are the oldest.
I know, but if I shave, I look the youngest.
Yeah, actually, I shaved recently. I shaved up a lot of my beards on the sides, and then I trimmed my beard under my chin.
Yeah, when you said beard, my evil part just went, the ones underneath your multiple chins.
Yeah, the one that I keep because without it I look like a turtle. Yes, that's the one.
Ain't nothing wrong with looking like a turtle.
True, turtles are sturdy, and they have. Okay, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say it.
You know, some turtles are predatory, meaning they will hunt and kill stuff.
Yeah,
It's
there are.
actually quite shocking watching one drag a pigeon underwater.
Yeah, the one that comes to mind is what are they called? Alligator snapping turtles. Even though I think they are mostly for fish. They hunt fish. But they're big and scary and they can very easily take fingers. But
Sorry, but they're essentially the real life Bowser.
yeah. But
Man, these games that Chris has played sure are interesting.
well, I mean, I think he's already mentioned them, hasn't he?
Yeah. He's mentioned what they are. He hasn't really said anything he's done with them.
Well, I mean, he's played them, I assume. But if he's done anything interesting, Gary, that's the next week's topic. I'm not going to say it, but you know what I'm thinking.
Okay, yes, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Well, Digimon World 2003, I've gone to the other server since it's all based digitally. But Pokemon, I've managed to capture the cover legendary.
Hmm.
I thought you also caught 3 others.
Oh, the 3 Reggies.
Yeah.
Reggie Ice, Reggie Steel, Reggie Rock.
Reginald.
And I think I said them in the
What?
opposite order I caught them in. Steel, Ice. Yeah.
Well,
Real quick, fun bit of trivia about those 3. Did you know that their Pokedex numbers are actually in the order of the age that they represent? As in, Regirock being the Stone Age, Regice being the Ice Age, and Registeel being, I believe it was the Iron Age.
Industrial. Oh. Iron Age, yeah.
that is an interesting fact.
Yeah, nice little detail.
Now,
But
yeah,
I suppose it's my turn.
yes, we should really try to work on not talking over each other.
Yeah. I think today's been a random stress though. Not a deep stress, just a random organizational stress.
Yeah, well, yeah. But Gary, I do agree you should go next.
Okay, so as Chris has said, he's played Omega Ruby. I have contrarily played Alpha Sapphire. Played a tiny bit of Pokemon Go actually. The Swine Up Spotlight Hour was about 2 hours ago, so I've got a few Swine Ups on there. But Chris will know that I've gone on a bit of Pokemon Channel and several other Pokemon games just to move Jirachi all the way over to currently Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. So basically, it's more or less just that. I don't actually think I've played anything else.
Wow.
Aside from a random dip on Pokemon Emerald where I was just doing Pokemon contests, because way back when I was doing a playthrough on Pokemon Ruby, I caught a shiny Duskull, and while I remembered it, for a long time I forgot that I even had the save. Like when I saw the save, I remembered I'd done it. So what I ended up doing was just winning ribbons with my shiny Duskull. But that's more or less me done. Aside from basically competing with Chris to try and fill the Pokedex at speed. Although if I think at this point for Chris, it's just a matter of doing a few more trades with Adam, and he's pretty well golden.
Well, yeah, fair enough. There's 1 or 2 that I have to catch still.
But yeah, while I remember, actually, I have also caught my cover legendary. So, Chris, when are we battling?
Oh, don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe
Okay,
we could.
I just thought, when we get to the Pokemon League, but before we challenge the Pokemon League, how's that?
Yeah, why not?
Awesome. I'm sure Adam won't mind that either.
I just realized something. I am
Oh?
sure there's been illegal gambling on Pokemon matches. There must have been.
Are you serious?
I mean, there must have been. I mean, just imagine it. Like, a bunch of nerds show up in like a dingy back room of a shop or something like that, and 2 of them are like they're champions and they go there every week, and 2 of them are like the best ones that like beat the most people, and then they go up against each other, and all the other nerds, they bet all their money on who they think will win. I mean, it must have happened at some point.
You know,
It does
I
feel
can
like
believe
it could.
Yeah.
I can believe it.
And I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be opposed to that. It's much better than dogfighting or something where people actually get hurt. Well, animals actually get hurt.
Yeah.
You know what? If I ever become rich and create a casino, I am going to make a deal with Nintendo. It is Nintendo that makes Pokemon. I'm not blanking on that, right?
Technically, well, they technically own it, yeah.
Yeah, good, because I remember seeing the Nintendo, the CEO of Nintendo America, I believe, in his office, and he had like a Pikachu. So that's really where I got it from. I haven't researched it, but it also makes sense because you mean Game Boy.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that must have happened at some point. But that's a side tangent.
God, we love our side tangents.
We do love our side tangents here. Actually, we're making a new podcast called Side Tangents, where there's no topic or dream futures or games we play. We just start a topic. Well, we just start talking about some random shit.
You know, that actually sounds kind of fun.
It does actually sound kind of fun.
Maybe in the future.
Yeah, in the future. But if is that everything? When it
More
comes,
or less, that's me done.
well, in that case, it's my turn, and I would like to inform that I'm going back to a sense of normality.
Finally played some MCC then.
Exactly. I played Halo this week, did my challenges. I said last week that I started to get a Halo itch after not playing it for 2 weeks, and I did. So I played all my single player challenges, firefight, the campaign, the ones I can do by myself. And then I've played. Oh God, I played something else. I played 7 Days to Die, which is a game that I've now I've now got 800 hours in. There was a point where I thought I would surpass it with MCC, but I haven't. And now I'm like gearing down on playing MCC and gearing more up on playing 7 Days again. The thing is, 7 Days to Die, it's just such a simple game that if I was asked a question like, if you're stuck on a desert island and you can only bring one game, and with the pretense of you being able to play that game, I would choose 7 Days to Die, because the way my interest for that game works is I play it. I play it like non-stop for a couple of months. Then I get tired of it and I play it less and less until I don't play it at all for a couple of months. And then eventually I'm like, I want to play this again. And it's basically been that way for the last 5 years. No, 6 years now. It's 2021. Done that
So
since
basically,
2015.
you play it in sudden spurts.
Yeah, exactly. So in reality, it's the game I have, I think, that has the most longevity. And with the new update that just came out, it's an Alpha 19. So it's basically, there are minor improvements. This wasn't a big update. There were a couple of updates ago. They had a huge update where they increased the. They made some new zombie models. Took all the old ones and redid them to look much better, and all weapons and such. So this was not a big update, but it is pretty good. It still kills my computer though. I when I turn on 7 Days to Die, I have to turn off everything else, or else the game will crash. And if I'm trying to watch something while turning it on, that will start lagging horribly. So it's still really badly optimized.
Yeah.
Which is my only gripe with that
Good
game.
times.
Yeah, but other than
Good
that,
times with horrible computers.
and well, it's also the game. I've seen people play online where they have like the newest computers, and it's still kind of iffy, kind of janky, yeah. But the thing is, when you've played it for like a couple hours, well, half an hour to an hour, it starts getting up. It starts running better. So it's like the lag decreases, and you can start doing other things as well. So yeah. Oh yeah, other games I played. I said okay, MCC, 7 Days. Oh yeah, I played more Divinity. Still playing that.
Nice.
Yeah, got some more levels. Saved an elf lady. Did I do anything interesting in that? I just think I'm progressing. I haven't really gotten to a big thing. I killed some magisters, some like big boy magisters. But yeah, haven't really done that much interesting in Divinity. And that's basically the games I've played.
I gotta be perfectly honest. A lot of the time that you're speaking right now, I can hear birds chirping.
Oh, well, yeah, that's the birds outside.
Yeah. It's just funny that they're trying to interrupt you.
Should
Yeah.
Bastard.
Is it annoying? Should I turn off my... Oh, should I close my window completely?
Should I turn off the birds?
Should I turn off the birds?
Oh, God.
I mean,
not too bad.
okay. I mean, fuck it. People was like, oh, it's nature in the background, the life and all that stuff, the live stream, Yggdrasil, all that bollocks.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
yes.
I can
Agreed.
hear a TV in my house, and it just has something like tubular bells going. It's just this soft, high-pitched ringing, and I couldn't figure out where it was coming from.
I mean, the thing is, I also recognized the birds in the end of the last podcast when I was editing it. So I think it's the later it gets, the more singy they get. They sing in the evening and they sing in the morning. I mean, they sing all day, but that's where they like really get into it.
they really pipe up.
Yeah. But
Or it's more likely that it's roughly where their nest is.
the thing is, actually, when I was out yesterday, I saw a small black bird jump down to the grass because it had recently been cut, so there was a lot of dry grass, and it was just picking up a shit ton of like dry grass for a nest.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw it fly into a bush right next to where we live. So, so yeah, there is nest out there.
So, is that all the games you played?
Yep, that's all the games I've played.
Which means it's
Hang on.
time to move on
to
And you
to
just
the
need
Dream
future.
Future. Who would like to start? I've got a dream future this week.
Chris, do you have one? Hello.
Chris? Oh, he just muted.
Nice.
I did say I needed to sneeze.
We didn't hear that through the dream future.
We really didn't.
well,
Oh, I needed to sneeze. Muted.
well, did you sneeze?
Yeah.
Okay, good. In that case, do you have a dream future?
Oh. No.
No?
No.
Well, get the fuck out then. Get out of here. Get out of...
Fine.
No, no. Oh, shit, he left the call. Okay,
Really?
yeah.
Damn
Oh.
it, Chris.
Okay, good. I was afraid I'd have to message you saying I was joking, but I don't want to press space. Well, in that case, Gary, should I go or do you want to go first?
Well, technically, the one I'm actually going to recite actually comes from something I was discussing with someone randomly.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I say it, they'll know who they are. Basically, I was mentioning to them about how... Fuck, hang on a minute, it scrolled down. I literally had it on screen.
Oh, is it a
I
Twitter?
know.
Yeah, I was looking through a message on Twitter, and there we go. There we go. So I basically pointed out how, because this was just on the Sunday we've just had,
Mm-hmm.
or rather Monday morning, even, I had Adam round that day, and we were going to be doing some Pokemon stuff. So they've suggested, why don't we do a versus for the channel? Like, pick a game each, and pick a game each from the same generation, and just run through it as quick as we can to see who can complete it the fastest.
The same
Not
game?
a bad idea. More or less the same game.
Yeah, okay.
So, I would say almost like speed running, but you're competitive
Yeah.
against the other person and not a block, so to speak.
It's like a two-player versus mode for Pokemon, where it's not battling each other, it's battling each other's speed, if that makes more sense. I don't know. But the point is, I pointed out, we don't really have the equipment for it. So, that's where the Dream Future comes in. It wouldn't be a bad idea to do. I wouldn't mind doing it. Heck, even if it's just between us two, Chris.
Yeah.
The thing is,
But-
we each need a computer.
We
Yes.
want a way to catalogue it, at least,
Yeah.
and that's what makes it a bit awkward.
The thing is, if it's console games, you'd at least need one computer and two capture cards.
Hmm.
And if it's PC games, you just need two computers. Just. It's pretty fucking pricey, but still,
Yeah.
everything's pretty pricey. So yeah. I mean, it'd be
Since
fun.
most of this stuff is handheld, that's a whole new...
Oh, handheld is borderline impossible. Borderline. Not impossible, but borderline.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily, because they do have their own in-game clock. You could always just measure it with the in-game clock.
I meant recording-wise.
Recording, yeah, but we could do something of a mini document, like a mini series, sort of documenting a playthrough, where we use timestamps from where we were when we hit certain points. Like, beat the first gym leader, we had this much on our respective clocks. We could do it that way. It wouldn't necessarily be as visual, but we could always, I don't know, pull up some screenshots or something from the internet or something for that point. It's an example It's just an idea.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with like having ideas. You know, like how could it be being creative with it, trying to be a bit more creative with what we make.
Yeah. Oop.
Oh, did you drop your phone?
No, nearly.
Oh,
Snagged the wire as I went to stand up,
oh,
so I just kind of dropped it on my face.
I see. Well, should I go with my dream future?
Yep, you're all ready.
It's a pretty basic one. I wouldn't mind playing Grounded with you two and Lewis.
The giant insect bugs.
Yeah,
Or
Gary.
normal size, but small people.
Yeah, but Gary, have you seen the movie Honey, I Shrunk the Kids?
I have seen it way back when.
Well, you know the
And-
concept.
Don't remember too many details of it, although I remember them, I think, fighting an ant in the garden.
Yeah, but that's basically the concept of the entire game Grounded. You're kids and you've been shrunk, and you're in a garden.
Neat.
And it's basically a base building, find resources, bunch of stuff, you know, basic game.
Survival.
Yeah. But it's gonna
Maybe a bit of horror if you're arachnophobic.
But none of us here are arachnophobic, right? Looks at Gary.
Don't look at it. Depends. If the spider's like 10 feet tall, then only in real life.
Okay.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Because I'm fairly sure that Chris can attest to the fact that the most annoying thing I find about the spiders on Devil May Cry 3 is when they split in two and you have to kill all the little babies.
yeah. It's like that YouTube video with the kids that killed the spider and it had a bunch of babies.
You know that's not actually correct, don't you?
What do you mean?
The spiderlings don't hide within the mother.
Well, I think it had like an egg sac.
Yeah, it might carry an egg sac. It won't be like in Devil May Cry, where it gets split in half and spiders suddenly pour out of it.
Oh, yeah, I didn't think
And then
that.
you have to kill the fuck out of them for red orbs. Wait, no.
They're spiders, not xenomorphs. I know that. I mean, the thing is, I've seen
Anyway,
spiders here with egg sacs.
Anyway, Danny,
Yeah,
isn't it time for yours?
You were saying grounded.
yeah, I said Grounded.
Right. I just wanted to keep focus.
Well, yeah, play Grounded. Maybe record it, maybe stream it. I don't know. I just think it would be fun to play it with people.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it.
Well, I have just looked around my room a little bit, and I have noticed I've got a camera still. Probably won't have much power, but that might be usable for Gary's idea, just a tiny bit.
Good day.
Yeah.
Like mini video logs of the progress.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it could be. We could workshop it. See what works best.
Well then, is it time for the main topic?
I believe it is. And as usual, Chris, would you like to introduce it?
No.
Okay, well, in that case, I'll introduce it. Today's topic is physical versus digital games. Basically, the pros and cons between the old era of games being cartridges, discs, that kind of stuff, and then the new era where most things are digital. Now,
Yeah.
now I have things to say about this, but I usually like to let you two go first.
Right. There's something I want to say about digital copies that most people might not agree with.
Go ahead.
I prefer using or getting a physical copy. It's not because anything saving space or anything like that, but it is nice seeing a library of games on a shelf. That stack of games you might have in a corner.
Yeah, I mean, I still have my library.
It's quite satisfying just to be able to go through it, find one game, pull it out, and have a look.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a game you haven't played in like 12 years.
I've got some of my old PS2 games stacked like that next to the 360 ones. But it is just nice to see them all lined up. You don't have to power anything on just to have a look at the library.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I also think that looks nice.
It's kind of like the Family Guy joke of a Kindle on a bookshelf. What's practically empty.
Ah.
Yeah, but continuing with that thought, I could say what I like about physical games, on the contrary to digital. It's the fact
Go on.
that when you have a game, you just have it forever, or as long as that physical copy exists. Well, while in digital games, though they are more convenient to store because you just have them on your device, if you lose your account or you get hacked or something happens, they're all gone. And
Like your online store stops. Like the online store stops selling them.
yeah, like what if Valve tomorrow said, "Hey, we're shutting down the Steam servers. Steam games are no longer going to be a thing." Then what's going to happen with all the thousands of pounds probably not thousands, hundreds of pounds I've spent on games on my Steam library? They'll be gone. I won't be able to play them anymore. And the thing is, I do understand the benefits of digital games. They load quicker. It's easier to distribute. It's easier to create offers. I mean, look at Epic Game Store, where they give games away for free. Hence the fact that I'm going to be playing Sonic Mania in a couple of days, because they'll just give it to me for free and then I'll have it.
Here's me feeling like a mug who paid, I think it was about 20 quid for it.
Yeah, well, the thing is, you don't have a computer, so I don't know. Actually,
I mean, fair.
I mean, didn't you play Rogue Company on your Switch? Did you get that from Epic or from Nintendo's store?
That would have had to have been from Nintendo's, because that's the only way you can really shop on there.
Okay, well, yeah. So it doesn't really matter because you don't have a computer, even though you do actually have a laptop.
I do, but like I tried recording gameplay of a GPA game once, and it was just like, nah.
I mean,
I ain't doing this.
What you could do is create an Epic account and then not play any of the games or install any of the games, but just go in there and get them so you have them for the future. So that if you one day get a better PC, you can lock into
in 60 years' time. Then yeah,
you could do that.
I'll be pushing 90, but I'll finally have a good computer.
Yeah, it's possible.
Oh, well, there's something about having a digital copy that's probably less advertised about.
Go on.
Well, you've got to make a disc, game cartridge, whatever. So that takes up resources.
Yeah.
Then you've got to produce the casing.
Yep.
And then you've got the wrapping. Then you've got transport.
And then you've got an entire store that needs to be selling these games.
Yeah. So technically, a physical copy is actually more
harmful to the environment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know. And that's something the thing is, I'm not saying that physical copies are the best alternative. There are pros and cons to each of them. Of course, I do understand, as somebody who also cares about the environment, I do understand that all the games that I have in my library, it costs plastic to make. Plastic isn't really good. It can't really be recycled properly. Well, most of it can't, but... And it's very bad for the environment to produce, but they keep producing it because the plastic that can be recycled, the recycled plastics are more expensive than just producing new plastic. So I do understand that it's not good for the environment.
Yeah.
But I do wish that, the thing is, if we could make digital games more permanent, it would be best of both worlds for me. Like, what if they said, hey, here's a hard drive that has all your games on it forever, so that if servers went down, if you got hacked or something, you'd have your digital games on a hard drive forever. One hard drive, not an entire library. I would actually, I think that I would enjoy that the most.
I mean, that'd have to be a fucking hard drive.
Yeah, I mean, it had to be a huge motherfucker, a brick, and quite expensive, but still.
So basically, an archive.
Yeah, and actually, I think the entire issue with digital gaming and they're not being as permanent, I believe I saw a documentary about video game not conservatives, people who try to save things that are old. Conservationist? Yeah,
That's the
conservationist.
one.
And
That sounds about right.
yeah, and they're like, well, the thing is, it's an issue with the digital games because they're harder to keep,
Preserve.
yeah. So it is a gaming issue, but again, we can't ignore the good aspects of digital games, like being able to have all these games without it filling up room, being good for the environment, being quicker to load, being easier to distribute, and being easier to sell smaller indie games. Because indie games, if every indie game had to have the means to produce
Oh,
discs and things like that, there wouldn't be any indie games.
you saying indie games? Minecraft.
Yeah,
That was a download only at the very beginning.
yeah. I mean, it's got physical copies now, but in the start, it was just a download only. And I
You
mean,
know, really quickly, while on the topic of Minecraft, I remember seeing something on Twitter like not too long ago, which is apparently a Sonic DLC for it. And it just made me laugh because it looked so bad, but at the same time, admittedly kind of fun.
Sonic DLC or Sonic mod?
Uh, it was being advertised by the official Sonic Twitter. So I
So it
think
should still be both.
Yeah.
yeah, that might I'll see if I can find it.
I
And then
know
I'll send you the link.
Windows 10 kind of had its own version of Minecraft where you could pay for mods as DLC.
Yeah, isn't it the Windows 10 version? Oh yeah, that makes
So,
sense.
so it could have been paid DLC or it could have been a mod still.
Yeah.
Although, trying to picture a hedgehog, like taking the Steve outline and trying to turn it into Sonic, it doesn't quite work.
No.
I gotta admit, the Sonic model looked really silly as well.
I mean, you gotta understand, it's squares. It's just a bunch of squares and rectangles. So
Yeah, it's why it's funny.
yeah. I mean, I've also
It
seen.
looks so dang goofy. But at the same time, Chris, Danny, they showed Chow.
Ooh,
Holy shit.
that's interesting.
Now that is rare.
That's my point. That's why I wanted to bring it up. Here we go. I just found the tweet too.
Ooh. Try and save a copy of it somehow. Maybe print screen.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna post it in our little resources thing so that Danny can send a link of that in the description.
Yeah. But we should not dally for too long because in 9 minutes we need to start to do the outro. So, Gary, you haven't really
Okay.
said much, so I would like you to talk about.
Okay. Now I can see the merits that you've pointed out. And as someone who's been through the whole physical thing, yeah, I can also see some downsides. What if you misplace your game?
I mean, don't.
Okay, don't. But handheld games, very easy to misplace.
I guess so. I mean, I just have all my games collected in one place, so it's kind of hard for them to go missing.
Chris can vouch for this. Mine are kind of scattered around the room.
Sorry,
If they're not in the cupboard.
I've just remembered something.
Go on.
The annoying friend / sibling that replaces games in other games' cases.
No, you mean
I know exactly who you're referring to there.
you mean me when I was a child?
I think everyone when they were a child, but some people don't grow out of it.
Yeah.
There are those who do that, and then you're stuck trying to find, okay, this should be in that case, that should be there, that.
Look,
Basically, you start putting everything back in the correct things to find the one thing you're looking for. And after you've spent half an hour putting them back in the right place.
It is a goose goose chase. It's like, okay, I'm looking for Gears of War. I'm opening it. Okay, it's Halo ODST. Then I find Halo ODST. Open it. Okay, that's GTA. So and then you just continue and continue until you trace it back to the actual game you want. It's a goose.
And I mean,
And I know
there are two outcomes to this. One is that you give up because you've had so much fun looking for it in the first place that you're all funned out. The other is you find it and you end up playing it and then you get bored.
you forgot the third outcome, Gary. Did
Which
you check
is
all the discs and eventually you realize it's not in any of
this one's
these?
crap.
Oh,
I've had that before where like I've gone back and then I'm like, okay, now I'm at the end and I open up and it's like it's empty, which means the game that I basically like okay, the second to last game was Red Dead Redemption. I open that up and I find the thing on PS2 and then I'm like, okay, so I take the thing from PS2 and I open the thing from PS2 box and that box is empty. I put the game in, but now the trail is gone cold.
Yeah.
That has happened before. But I would like to say there's a reason. I know how this happens. Because the thing, okay, you put a game in, you play it, and then when you want to play another game, you take the disc out, but you don't want to damage the disc, so it needs to be in a case, and you can't really be bothered finding its original case. So you think to yourself, okay, just for the time being, I'll put it in here so it's safe, and then you forget.
Because you leave the disc that was already in that case in the console.
Yeah, and you know what I said when it's a dead end? I have had a dead end and then eventually found the disc I was looking for in the console. Because I was like, I'm going to play my PlayStation 2. Find the PlayStation 2 and like, okay, I want to play this game. And then you check everything before you actually check the console just to realize that the game you were looking for was in the console to begin with.
Well, let me guess, that was because you went to put in a different game.
What did you say, Gary?
That was because you went to put in a different game that you found out.
Well,
right?
yeah, it was.
And then you're stuck with the conundrum. Do I play the game I just searched out now, or do I play the game that I was originally going to play?
No, I played the original because I wanted to play Predator Concrete Jungle. I was like, oh, I really want to play. Well, I guess I'll just play Turk Evolution. And then I was like, oh, it's in there, great. And then I played it, and I was happy.
There is another thing I can think of that can be a problem with physical copies.
Go on.
Hardware failure. In the disc reader specifically.
Yes. That is an issue. An issue that would be solved if we used my hard drive solution.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like I said, yeah, physicals, the only upside with physical games that I can think of is the fact that you always have them. That they're more permanent.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that
they
your
have
hardware...
a bit more of a resale value.
Yeah.
Looking at, well,
I mean, there's a video I watched recently on YouTube where a guy points out the download-only games are kind of weird because you can get instances where you get games that are specifically printed onto download cards that you take home and then you input the code to download the game.
Yeah.
But a lot of the time they put them in regular game cases.
I mean, I've seen games that have they give you the game and then say, hey, if you want to also have it digitally, here's a code for it. But you can't you need to use the same account on those games. So you can't just get two games.
That's fine though, because that's giving you a backup.
Yeah.
Let's say the disc fucks up or the disc reader stops working. You've got another way to play that same game.
And the thing is, like I said, how physical games, they're more permanent. They aren't 100% permanent. Like you said, if a disc reader is broken or if the disc gets scratched or anything, they're more permanent in the sense that they can't just disappear with the snap of a finger, but they can be damaged. And like you said, they can be lost unless you do like me and you just keep them in one place. But I also don't play my older games as often as you do, Gary, I believe, because I got all these games.
To be fair, I'm kind of stuck in this limbo, so no worries there.
Here's the thing. My DS, it can have digital copies, and I
Hmm.
have some things as digital copies, but make sure I don't lose my physical. I keep them with the casing I've got. So there's a, I want to say, flap, what just has slots for the game cartridges,
I
and
mean,
it
to
just,
be fair, that's kind of efficient because DS games are fucking tiny,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
Switch games man even smaller.
But I've seen cases for the Switch what has similar little pockets for the game cards to go into.
Hmm. I mean, it's an alternative, but
If I
that'd basically be me sacrificing my chance for another Switch game. So, uh,
if I ever get a gaming studio, Grayo Game Studios up and running, I am going to make the hard drive games, so you can buy games and also have them on a hard drive. Just saying.
you know that'd actually probably solve your console issue as well. Like, you could have it so that you've got ports for all sorts of different controllers, and you wouldn't necessarily need a disc reader that can read like 600 different disc types.
Yeah, I mean, if you have the
Mm.
hard, if you have a game that is that's also ported to other consoles, you can also have it on the same hard drive, and then you can plug that hard drive into a console
Yeah.
or something like that.
Right.
Yeah, but I think we've discussed like the pros and cons pretty well. But just to summarize them, physical games, they're worse for the environment. They load slower, they can be lost, but they're more permanent. While digital games, they're faster, they they enable developers more chances because they're easier to distribute. They're fast. They load faster. Indie games. What else? Oh wait, they can be easier. They can be cheaper. Like how games can be given for free. I've completely forgot. Steam sometimes gives you a free game for the weekend, so you can try it, and then if you want it, you can buy it after the weekend. So so all in all, there are pros and cons. I would sadly have to say that I do think digital copies are better, purely because of the environment. And the environment is more
Yeah.
important than me having my games, even though I would be very sad if I lost my Steam account. Not gonna lie.
Personally, I think that to an extent, the situation we're in is probably the most ideal one until they figure out something way healthier that everyone can be satisfied with.
Yeah,
You just want healthy.
yeah, I agree. Like having digital games on one hard drive that's like takes much less plastic than having 200 game discs in cases.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
But on that, I think we should start rounding off. I did have an extra thing that I could have done if we like got done earlier, which is I've started a dream journal where I write down my dreams. So I could have read one of those, but I'm not going to because we're at the 53-minute mark. So we need to start. Yeah. So does anybody uh, have any words of wisdom you'd like to start off with?
Ooh. I guess the most simplest one would be appreciate what you've got, because you don't know what you got until it's gone.
True.
Wise words. Wise words. Healthy discourse. It's the way you get things done. You don't want to spend too much time bickering until that thing you have that you really want to keep is taken away from you by force.
Um, I don't know. Uh, hey Valve, don't shut down Steam servers. That's my words of wisdom. Don't do it, Gabe. I'd be very sad.
I mean, like, chances are, would they really want to stop such a healthy income of money?
I mean, yeah, that's the whole thing, that they're making so much money that it's not going to be happening anytime soon. But who knows? Maybe when I'm 60 and nobody uses Steam anymore and everybody's just got holographic games downloaded into their
Oh,
irises.
I've just been told that there's ice cream in the house.
Oh my god. Well, in that case,
Is this going to become a running theme?
everybody, we gotta say goodbye now. Chris needs his ice cream. So, like, subscribe, Discord, Twitter, bell button, and
Try to say hi to it. Please, we're lonely.
yes, we're very lonely. Hello, darkness, my... Oh, DMC8. Bye-bye, everybody.
Tally ho!
Goodbye.